How's it going, guys? Jim here, Scottish guy in Moscow. I've got about 48 hours left of my 3-year Russian adventure, and I want to take you guys with me through my checklist of what I still need to do, and I'll explain what I've got to do over the next 48 hours before I leave Russia forever and the journey comes to an end. Even though the Russian journey is ending, the journey of my life, hopefully, is not ending. So I will be moving on, and I'm going to explain to you exactly what I'm going to be doing. How's it going? All right, man, how's it going?
All good? When are you leaving?
I've just started a video. People are going to think that you're a paid actor.
No, I'm not.
Yeah, do you promise?
Yeah, I've been watching your videos. And,
Really?
Yeah, and I noticed that we live like a couple houses away from each other.
Society?
Yeah, society.
That means neighbours, by the way. I can actually speak a bit of Russian. I'm Jim, nice to meet you, my
Tim,
man.
nice to meet you.
Thank you. Hello.
Tim also.
Really?
Yeah.
What, Tim? Tim and Jim?
Yeah.
You can't make it up, guys. Timothy.
He is Timur, I'm Timothy.
Oh, I'm Jim, like James.
Yeah. Nice
Yeah,
to meet you.
I'm going to be leaving in 2 days.
2 days?
I'm just finishing things off, yeah.
Oh, okay. I got
So,
it.
I just met a guy in the coffee shop as well. It's like everyone knows I'm leaving, so.
Everybody's watching your videos.
I hope so. Hopefully they'll keep watching as well.
Yeah. Well, come back.
Thank you,
one
man.
day.
Thank you. Right, Tim.
Nice meeting you.
See you later, man.
Bye.
See you later, guys. That looks like the most staged setup ever. I've just started my video and I've met 2 guys called Tim who speak English and watch the channel, but I promise that was completely random. Well, Tim and Tim, it was nice to meet you there. Where are we at? I think I was saying subscribe. Please do hit subscribe. The journey is not going to be over. I'm going to tell you, I've been thinking a lot about what I'm going to do, and I'm going to get into that. So what's been happening? Yesterday, I finished my job. Been working as a teacher here, as you well know, if you've been watching the videos. That is my profession. I went to university a little bit later in life, in my late 20s. I didn't go straight from school because I was a bit of a tearaway. When I was younger. Didn't like rules, and now I'm a teacher. You have to enforce the rules. So that's basically what I've been doing since I was about 30, I think. It's starting to rain, but I'm going to keep going because I've been so hot all night. I'll get to that in a second, actually. So yeah, finished up the job yesterday. The parents of the children that I teach were extremely nice to me. They gave me a beautiful gift. I'll probably show you it when I'm going to do a video about packing up my apartment. This beautiful book about Moscow. And one of the parents told me that they all watch the videos. Like, usually I don't like to. Oh no, it's coming down really heavy. Right, we're gonna have to find some shelter. Let's go. All right, guys, we've came under cover because the rain has started coming down really heavy. All right, guys, we're back. I've cleaned the lens. I hope it's not got any water on it, but the rain is coming down so heavy. I've came under the cover of these new flats. What was I saying? I think I was talking about the parents of the children that I teach were very, very nice. They gave me a beautiful gift. They said thank you for teaching their children. And one of the parents told me that they watch my YouTube channel, which I get weirdly shy about because I think when you have like a real life and then you do YouTube, I feel a little bit shy and embarrassed when I know that people that actually know me in real life watch the channel. I don't know why that is. I'm not sure if it's the same for other people who do this, but I mean, it's not a big deal, but I was glad, but they said nothing but nice things. So it just reinforced how much I like Russian people. Really cool, just really nice, really friendly people, of which I'll really miss. I'm really going to miss living here and being around. And we just met Tim and Tim, who are not paid actors. I'm going to have to walk back the way. I'm just going to have to walk back up and down, I think, in order to stay dry. I could go back into my apartment, which is just behind me, but I like to be walking. when I'm talking and doing these videos. Right guys, so what has been happening? So I finished my job. Yesterday was probably the most horrific night of my life. My friend who lived next door to me, Danny, he was going back to England for the summer. I'm obviously leaving permanently. So I promised him I would give him my air conditioner because my flat is like a sauna. It doesn't have one built in, so I bought one, pretty good one, powerful as well. But I didn't realise he was leaving so soon. So he texted me and said he's about to go to the airport. So I says, right, I'll give you this air conditioner. And then last night was just, I feel like Moscow only has two temperatures, too cold or too hot, because that was the hottest night. I had to get up about twice and have a cold shower just to stop myself from overheating. So I hope Danny enjoys my air conditioner for many more years to come. But that was a hot night. Right, things that I'm going to do, I was planning to do today that I will. I guess I'll go inside and upload this video and then I will go back out because I want to make a few more videos before I leave. I've got about 48 hours left. I'm going to go to the bank. I'm going to show you, because people might not know this. Russian people will obviously know this and it will seem quite obvious, but I think a lot of people won't know that if you can get brand new American dollars, Americans will know this, like for a long time the dollar was like $100 bills. I'm not sure, were all dollars? Maybe all dollars were green, and they've fairly recently changed to these new blue dollars. Can you get thousands of American dollars in a Russian bank, walking in straight off the street as a foreigner? That's what I'm going to go do, get a few thousand for my trip that I'll be making very soon. And I'm going to show you guys if it's possible, because maybe people think that it's not actually something that is a fairly everyday thing for Russians to do. So that'll be one video coming up. Other video, I live in the apartment block. Which one is it? Not that one, the one over there. I live in the apartment block behind. You probably saw a video of it if you watched my videos when I first moved in. It wasn't really a good choice for me. I don't like the decor, it's very small. But what happened was, I had quite a good apartment in Shabalovskaya, but I wanted to be closer to work. Also, my old landlord put the rent up, which it wasn't so high, but I thought it was quite unreasonable, so I said, right, I'll move out. And then I couldn't get a new apartment because it's extremely difficult for a foreigner now to rent an apartment. I've said this before and people in the comments have said that it's not. Trust me, I'm a foreigner. I've lived here for 3 years. I work with lots of other foreigners. It's not saying it's impossible, but what I'm saying is it's very difficult. There's not much choice because the landlord needs to register you in a different way than they would register a Russian. Also, every time you leave the country, they need to re-register you, and it's just a hassle that a lot of people don't want to deal with. And maybe some landlords want their money in cash that doesn't go through the books. So it's just another way that you're registering everything to the government constantly to have a foreigner. So a lot of them don't want to do it. We're currently surrounded by apartments, but unfortunately for foreigners at this moment in time, it's actually quite difficult. We don't have a lot of choice. We need to get a landlord who's totally fine with the system, totally fine with dealing with a foreigner, the different registration, and also fine with doing it every time we leave the country. So that is why I took this apartment. I knew it was only going to be for a year, and I don't particularly like it. And it probably contributed a little bit to, not that apartment as such, but the system of not just being able to live wherever you want. You know, you make money and you can afford to live somewhere pretty nice, and then you can't actually do it because of the system that's in place, or it's very difficult, not impossible. So I'm going to be packing up my apartment, so I'll make a video on that. So that's going to be the bank video. That's going to be the packing up the apartment. Also, I want to go to the Red Square where I started my YouTube channel and make my last ever video from there. So that's going to be like another 3 Russian videos. And someone, Arina and I, Arisha in Russia, you will know her, we like to laugh at the comments, the abusive comments that we get, because now she's got her own channel. She gets it as well, not as many as me, I don't think, but I think her channel's going to get pretty big pretty soon. And when you get a lot of views, you get a lot of abuse, which is quite funny. One guy said, well, somebody wrote that, what did they write? This guy's been leaving for about 6 videos, I wish he would just leave, nobody cares. But no, there's going to be at least another 3 or 4 videos of the final stage of leaving Russia, because it's been such a huge part of my life, but also it's basically what the channel's been about for the last 2.5 years or something that I've been doing it. And I know that people do actually like the Russian content. So that's what's coming up. There might even be 1 or 2 more, who knows, and I'll stagger them out over the next few weeks. I'm going to be gone by the time the last video is posted. But then what am I doing? I'm going to go to Minsk for a week, so I'm going to fly to Minsk. I'm going to be there for about a week. Then I'm going to fly to Istanbul, where normally I would just change planes, because Russia as well and Belarus as well are sanctioned in terms of the flights out to the west, so you can't really go. I mean, there's a few other ways you could go through Dubai, maybe Georgia or something, but Turkey, because so many British people go on holiday to Turkey each summer, it's probably the easiest way to get home. So fly to Istanbul, but normally I just change planes, but I've never been out of the airport in Istanbul. So what I've done is I've booked one flight in, and then the next day, about 24 hours later, maybe even less, the next flight will be to Scotland, and that means I'll get to see a little bit of Istanbul. That means you guys get to see a little bit of Istanbul as well. I'll definitely make a video from there, and then I'll be back in Scotland until basically the end of August to see my family, see my friends, deal with a few things that I need to deal with there as well. I've basically got a part. I'm basically a landlord, and just like I rent an apartment here, people rent apartments from me. And let me tell you, people think being a landlord is you just buy a place and then you rent it out and then you just make loads of money. But for the last few weeks I've had nothing but problems with maintenance and stuff like that. So of course I've got agents that deal with that, or an agent that deals with that, but I think I want to, when I get back, I want to deal with a few things that I need to catch up on with that, just to make it run a bit more smoothly. Maybe starting to think about, do I really want to be in this landlord game long term, or do I want to put my money into something that's more, well, it's less hassle, isn't it? It's less hassle if you're putting your money into like stocks or the big 500 companies, something like that. But it's not something, I know property, I was doing it for quite a few years, so that's something that I feel comfortable in, but the hassle of dealing with all the maintenance issues as well, especially when you're not in the country, starts to wear you down a little bit, wear down on your sanity. But who knows, but that's going to be something that I'm going to maybe start addressing in the channel as well, because what I like to do with my life, at least, I'm quite a minimalist. I'm not someone that derives a lot of pleasure or joy from material items. What I do like to have though is like cash flow. I enjoy my job, I enjoy what I do, I enjoy being able to travel and the different people that I can meet, and also the opportunity to live in different countries as well through my work. But also I like to have things like passive income and different investments as well. I'm by no means an expert, so there would be no financial advice. I'm just someone who, if I get an idea, then I like to see it through and I like to learn about it. And for a few years I was into property and still have some, but I'm thinking about maybe exiting that. Who knows? But that's basically what's going to happen. And then from the end of August, I'm going to be off to my next adventure. But there's many more things to come in the meantime. I think that's all I need to tell you at the moment. I'm going to cover this again because we're going through the uncovered bit with all the rain. So yeah, 48 hours to go, but there's still going to be like another 5 videos or something like that rounding things up here. Then it will be Minsk, Istanbul, then back to Scotland until the end of the summer. Then we'll be off to the new adventure, and I hope you guys do come with me. We've just met some Russian people, Tim and Tim, absolute legends, not paid actors at all, it looks staged. Stay with me on the adventure. Thanks very much for watching. See you next time.